I hadn't planned on doing another video on Takuro so soon, but they were recently on a TV show and performed their Beverly Hills sketch, but with some major additions. If you haven't seen my breakdown on that, please check that out first, since it will help you understand this video more. The show they were on is called Cream Nantara and is hosted by the veterans Cream Stew. It airs on Monday nights on TV Asahi, and while it's not part of my must-watch weekly rotation, I always take a look each week just to see what they're up to. This week they were pranking the M-1 contestants, starting with Takuro, so it was of great and timely interest. This is a type of prank they do from time to time, where they see what happens when the Manzai act just doesn't end, meaning that the person who is supposed to end it just doesn't. So here, Kimura is pranking Akagi. Here's what the normal end looks like. As you can see in the Beverly Hills act, it ends when Kimura says, "This practice really helped." In this prank, however, Kimura is just not going to say those words. Cream Stew asks Kimura how he plans to extend the bit, and he says that he will just keep introducing more and more people from the party to Akagi. The full video is on the Cream Nantara YouTube channel. But let's hop in and take a look. Enjoy!
どうも、Takuroです。はい、ありがとうございます。元バンドマンの木村バンドと元Koda KumiのAkagiです。お願いします。あ、元Koda Kumiで。はい、Koda Kumiでした。あ、そうなんですか。いろいろこうなりました。
I have to say I really missed the scummy with the former psychopath line here. But this one does get a good amount of laughter. I'm not sure if Akagi changes this up every time or if he tailors it to the, in this case, the young female audience that they have. If you aren't familiar with Koda Kumi though, she's a popular singer, and apparently the consensus is that a good Western analog is Christina Aguilera. But it seems, however, that she is and has always been Koda Kumi, so it's very possible that Akagi might be lying to us. What a psychopath. From here we will jump to the end of the act. The TV show cut most of the act out anyway. While there were some small changes in phrasing that we could talk about, the parts that they showed mainly played out the same as before. So let's skip to the fun part.
ここですね。ここら辺で勉強になったわですが、行かない。あれ？お？あ、行かない。あ？本当の挙動不審になってきたんだ。
Ueda's comment here is really interesting because it harkens back to Komaba's comment during M1 that we discussed a lot in the first video, which was the evolution of Akagi acting strange for no reason in normal situations to then now acting appropriately or reacting appropriately to the strange situations that Kimura is setting up.
誰がいるのか他にも。ハリウッドで監督をしているジョニーだ。そしてこちらが東映で AD をしてるジョージだ。何でもやるぜこいつは。何でもやるぜ俺はいろんな幅広く仕事をしてるのさ。
Toei is a very famous film and animation studio. On the anime side, they have many classics such as Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, One Piece, which we know is one of Akagi's favorites. On the Toei film studio side, however, they have films from such Takuro luminaries as Kimura Takuya and Abe Hiroya.
Abe Hiroya?
AD stands for Assistant Director. ADs are essentially the gophers that run around doing many different types of tasks, from getting gear ready, putting tape on the ground so people can hit their marks, holding a sketchbook with instructions for the people on camera, even syncing up the video and audio later to get it ready for editing. I'll link to a couple interesting videos that I've seen recently about AD work.
紹介するよ。こちらハーバード大学で物理を教えているハロルドだ。そして大仏を磨いてるジョージだ。
Nara is a beautiful historic city that is famous for the deer that freely walk around. You can feed the deer, but they do tend to swarm you if you have treats, and it's not always the most pleasant experience. I prefer watching from afar. Daibutsu literally means Big Buddha, but they usually just call him Daibutsu. There's another one in Kamakura that you might be more familiar with. I think it has better PR, but this one is still a very impressive sight to see.
そんなにいるのか人が。あえてこれだよ。メジャーリーグでホームラン王のマイクだ。そしてこちらがバレーを教えてるジョージさん。
Cream Stew remarks that despite his strong start, now it looks like Akagi is floundering. I don't think Kimura gets enough credit here, though. Of course, he is in on the prank, but it doesn't look like that he had much time to prepare. I mean, of course, he's not trying to get a laugh like Akagi is, so there's a bit less pressure, but I think he still deserves a shout-out. Regarding Akagi's line, he mentions a word called Sposho, which is an abbreviation for Sports Shonen Dan, which is a youth club where young people can get exposed to a variety of different sports.
いないそんないっぱい人は。
いないことにしてる。
男子のでかい男子のホームパーティーだろ。おい木村変なやつ出してくんな。ボランティアの神様と呼ばれている人、投資者と呼ばれている。
I know Cream Stew said that Akagi was floundering, and while the volleyball punchline was a little weak, I think he came back very strong here, with something that really was not very obvious at all. Rip-off bars are places where you order something, maybe from a menu that doesn't have the prices listed, and they try to charge you some crazy amount of money. And if you won't pay, then some, thug comes out and threatens violence on your person. My stereotype is that places like kabuki-chos where you'll tend to find these types of bars.
紹介するよ。紹介すんな。落ち着け。落ち着いてる俺は。ずっと前から落ち着いてんだ。もうね。何をさせたい俺に。カリスマ家政婦の藤田だ。家政婦がしゃしゃんなや。
I love watching the wheels come off here and Akagi saying, "No more introductions!" and then fake punching Kimura in the gut. You can also see Kimura laugh too, which makes it more fun. The Japanese people love the word charisma, and you can translate it as charismatic in a way. This is a form of Wa-sei Eigo, where they take words that are originated in English, use them in Japanese, but then change the meaning slightly. But I hear this word a lot with hairstylists who are very popular, have a long waiting list, and tend to look like this.
朝の、技術開発部コツコツやってるジョージだ。
Akagi did a great job here. NISA is very close to NASA in terms of acronyms. The Nippon Individual Savings Account is a Japanese tax-exempt investment scheme. When I lived in Japan, the banks had negative interest, so hopefully this is better.
アウトしたマライアだ。マライアキャリーをスカウトしてマライアやったの？一緒に、セット売りしてはどうかと脚本家に提案したジョージだ。もうわからない。
This statement here is just pure nonsense, so I won't try to dissect it. But these are both child actors who have maintained success even now as adults. It's now been 10 minutes from when the act should have ended, normally. And so they finally give Kimura the sign that, okay, you can end it and put Akagi out of his misery.
平均株価というあの言葉を作った。四捨五入を発明したジョージだ。俺は5からだって言った。練習になったよ。やってないだろ。どうもありがとうございました。
Now they take him backstage, he thinks he's on a different show with other hosts. So he's surprised to see Cream Stew, and especially since he's meeting them for the first time. Like, remember, they came out of relative nowhere, they won M-1, and now they're in Tokyo meeting comedy legends. On a personal side, I was really happy to have spent time breaking down Beverly Hills before, because I knew it inside and out, and was really able to appreciate the additions and the interactions between Akagi and Kimura. I was really impressed with how they both acted in front of Cream Stew. Arita and Ueda are legends, and they both teased Akagi, and he immediately countered. And he didn't seem nervous at all. Like, I really felt proud of him in a way. Like, he wasn't shy. It was great. Anyway, this is a really great episode of Cream Nantara, so please check it out. Bye-bye.